What's the deal, my people? You know it is the Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you another video, and this one is Dexter Resurrection. This is my theory. You know that Dexter eventually has to get caught. Now, I don't mean he's getting caught going to jail, but I mean that people are going to figure out exactly who he is. In this video, I'm going to tell you the exact way that I believe that these people will figure out who he is, and that the Bay Harbor Butcher. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. 500 is the like goal. Thank you for everybody who's gotten me to that point on these last couple of videos. Subscribe to the channel. I'm reading that 63% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. If that was the case, we might pick up 10, 20,000 subscribers in one day, and that would be amazing. But let's get started. We will begin with the one and only Charlie. We know that Charlie is the one who's going to figure out that he's Prada, and this is how I think that she's going to do it. Lady Vengeance was set up and then captured because of Dexter, and I don't think she's going to have any love lost for him. Now, she may not know that he is the one who set her up, but Charlie has already visited her in jail once, and I do believe the next episode we will see her move to a different jail, because they said that it was possible for the feds to come pick her up at any time. And once she is moved, this is going to give Charlie the ability to finally get to her. And she doesn't have a lot of information about Dexter, but she does have one critical piece of information.
Have you spent a lot of time in Miami?
Actually, I grew up there.
Really?
So she seems pretty shocked by this information when she hears him say that he's from Miami. That actually he grew up in Miami, because she thought he was a New Yorker, a 100% New Yorker, straight from New York, and never was outside of New York. In fact, they had a conversation a little bit earlier about him being from New York and his family in New York. But now all of a sudden he brings up the fact that he's from Miami. And when Charlie goes sees Lady Vengeance, there is no doubt that she is going to spill these beans to Charlie, and Charlie's going to realize this guy is from Miami, which is going to make her more interested and make her go into more depth of figuring out exactly who this person is. When we are introduced to Charlie, the very first thing they want us to know about this woman is that she's capable. And how do they do that? Well, they show us her tracked down all by herself from what we know, the dark passenger. And she goes inside of his house, and she breaks into his house, and she wears a very nice looking mask to make sure she is not detected while she does this. But while she is in there, she is able to use her cunningness, knowing that there are indentations in the rug from the crates, and from this she was able to use that knowledge of hers to say, this is where these crates go, and these crates go here. Why? Because right above is where he keeps all of his trophies, and that is where she plants the money to get him to come to the invitation. We had seen in this episode that Dexter just got a brand new blood slide kit, and he needed a spot to put it, and he was going to put it inside of the air condition, but it would not fit. So he used where Blessing's daughter would stash her weed, in the wall. So Charlie, being suspicious, probably will go back to his apartment and find out that he doesn't live there anymore. In fact, that he's been missing and no one has seen him. And once she realizes this, she will do a little bit more digging or track him by the cell phone. And we'll talk about the cell phones in 1 second, but she will eventually learn that where Dexter is staying. And once she does, we can obviously assume that if she was able to find one person's treasures, she will be able to find Dexter's. And once she does, and she sees the slides, she may not be as familiar with the slides as it is, but Prater will be. And if she brings it back to Prater, he will know, and it will be a flashback in his memory of how Dexter acted by the slides when he seen them. And that will give them confirmation 100% that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I've missed you, friends. Please don't touch. Sorry.
Now, Dexter and his friends were all given cell phones so that they can keep in contact with each other. Just give a little texty text here and there and say hi once in a while, and also be notified when the new festivities would be occurring. And that sounds great, but we have to assume, since every cell phone has one, that they have a GPS embedded in it. And if they do the tracking GPS, we can easily see that Dexter was with Lloyd, and he was also with Lady Vengeance. And other proof is that he texts both of them. So we have text records and we have GPS that connects Dexter to both of them. Also, in this trailer, we do see one shot, and it looks like somebody with black gloves burning something. And to me, the only person we've seen with black gloves so far is Charlie. So did Charlie use the GPS to find out where Dexter is burning the bodies? That's what I think is going on. Now, in the last trailer we got, we see Batista and Claudette getting closer. In fact, they are exchanging information, and Batista then shows her a picture of Dexter when he was locked up in that small town in New York. And I'm sure he's going to say that this is who I believe the Bay Harbor Butcher is, and this just happens to be the father of Harrison. Harrison, the kid who you suspected chopped up this body and was the one who took it out and tried to dispose of it. It would be the exact same MO of the Bay Harbor Butcher. But then you might say to yourself, even if they have that stuff, even if they have those suspicions, they really don't have any proof that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. They have no idea that that guy is that person. In fact, it's blamed on James Dokes. But the one thing they are showing you is they're showing you a picture of Dexter that is from the last season, right? And we look at New Blood, there was one important thing that happened in New Blood, and I think that this may lead to them realizing that the truth.
Finishing up our Sunshine State murder extravaganza, and I've saved the best for last. The Bay Harbor Butcher. You know the nickname, and you know what he did. Dismembered his victims, bagged the bloody bits and hefties, and tossed them in the bay. Dozens of bodies strewn across the ocean floor. Make no mistake, this motherfucker was one of the most brutal, prolific serial killers of all time. And get this, his victims were usually criminals who'd gotten away with it. That's some Batman-level vigilante shit. And it's why Miami Metro Homicide came to believe the Butcher was one of their own. Sergeant James Dokes. But what if they were wrong? Because here's the thing. I did some digging on Reddit. I found a guy who claims he did special ops with Dokes. He says Dokes was out of the country doing classified shit when some of the BHB killings took place. But the powers that be were more than happy to close an embarrassing case down after. Wait for it. Dokes got blown up in an Everglades cabin before he could be arrested. As one does in Florida. Well, maybe the police didn't want to keep investigating the biggest case in Miami Metro history. But I fucking do. Because if I'm right, the Bay Harbor Butcher could still be out there, still feeling all butchery, still a threat.
Now we can see if she went on Reddit and figured this out. How can we not say that these people will not figure out the exact same thing, that James Dokes was not there when some of these crimes were committed? So therefore, there is no way for him to be the Bay Harbor Butcher. It's just impossible, which would lead them to Dexter and say that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher. Charlie, Prater, they would all believe that as soon as they know this whole information. All they gotta do is listen to the podcast, but I'm sure they have their own contacts and they really don't have to listen to the podcast. But that brings us to another situation. Now, although Dexter has felt that he has done the right thing and that he has helped his son get away with this murder, it's going to be pretty easy to prove that that is not the case due to the watch. Yes, Dexter did take this watch and he did put it in Mia's trophy case, and she did have a bunch of other trophies in there, but we see from the trailer that Batista does not buy it, and for good reason. It's not going to be hard to track this down because that watch was just fixed, and the person who went to pick up that fixed watch was Harrison. So if they figure out the watch was fixed and they go to the place where it was fixed at, I am sure they will show videotape of Harrison in there bagging up the watch. And then once the watch is in Harrison's possession, then we just have to get the switch to Dexter, which won't be that hard because they can easily look at all the cameras in New York City, especially in Central Park, and you would see that Dexter is out there jogging around with Mia. And the fact that the person who called in the number, which was Dexter pretending to be an ordinary citizen, how did this ordinary citizen know that this person was Lady Vengeance? He said straight up, it's Lady Vengeance.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a guy screaming next door. I think some chick's trying to murder him. I heard her call herself Lady Vengeance or some shit. You gotta send help.
Sir, try and stay calm.
Stay calm my ass! The guy's in fucking trouble. It's fucking Lady Vengeance.
Now, he did say he heard her say she was Lady Vengeance. Now, I don't know, many serial killers go around and say their name or their moniker, so I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think they're gonna buy it. Also, do see Claudette and Batista going to talk to Lady Vengeance. Unfortunately, by this time, she will already be dead because Charlie will have already gotten to her, and that's not going to help them. But the watch itself will come into play, and I guarantee that that is how they're going to figure out the connection between Dexter and Lady Vengeance, and that is going to bring up the whole thing with Harrison. But again, they would need more proof to get them in the end, but I do believe that all these things would lead them on the right path of that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. Now, I might have missed a couple of things or left a couple of things out, and if I did, please put it in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again for all the support you have shown me on these videos. I will be back this week with a live stream right before the episode airs, and maybe we'll do a live watch along during that too. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can get the information on all the videos I am about to drop. And again, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.